Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of CovInspiration with Dayo Israel. I am on the show today with an influential African leader, a quintessential traditional leader in Africa, someone highly respected, not just for his pro-democracy struggle, but also being the leader of a group of an association of individuals, exceptional individuals who promote the African culture and the interests of the African people, in particular the Odua people in Nigeria. I'm privileged to have on CovInspiration tonight the Are Ona Kakanfo of Yoruba land. That is the generalissimo of the Yoruba race and also the national leader of the Odua People's Congress, Iba Gani Adams. Iba, good to see you, sir.
Good evening, Honorable Dayo Israel.
Ekushe, thank you so much for your service to Yoruba land.
Oh, thank you very much.
Before I go into your personal story, I wanted to start from June 12th so that we can hit the nail on the head, because a lot of people are already watching on all the 4 Facebook platforms and on YouTube. Iba Gani Adams, how did you get involved in the whole June 12th struggle?
Well, I joined the struggle of June 12th precisely July 1993 under the leadership of Dr. Bukky Sankuti. I started my membership on the Mushin local government chapter by then. And from there, we have interaction with a lot of groups, dependable force in mainland, and CLO, and CDHR, Committee for Defense of Human Rights. And, you know, Chief Gani Fayemi was running his activities based on his chamber. And later, he founded National Conscience. It now became a National Conscience Party. But there was a group that Chief Gani Fayemi led around 1997, 98, 99. The group was being called JACOM, Joint Action Committee, which later, when we formed OPC in 1994, we affiliated with Joint Action Committee. Joint Action Committee is just like a coalition of civil society with about 106 different groups fighting the same cause on the issue of June 12th.
I'm with you, sir.
Okay.
I can hear you, sir. Yes, I'm with you, sir.
So,
well, listen, I'm just taking notes.
So when you are talking about my participation in the June 12th struggle, started in 1993. And most of the protests that was held in Lagos were grassroots leaders by then. Although we don't have the privilege to be in the top shot of the leadership, but most of the section protests and even pasting placard posters and leaflets, we are the grassroots leaders that mobilize people, especially within Lagos. So under the leadership of Dr. Bukky Sankuti. When Dr. Bukky Sankuti was arrested, Civilist Odion was the secretary. Like he was like leader by then. After Odion was arrested, was Dr. Joe Odumaki. And yes, in 1994, we have to make sure that we put our house in order in Yoruba land, because we believe that even though we believe in nationalist struggle on the basis of fighting for June 12th, we must put our house in order. So we formed a group called Odua Youth Movement in 1994. And at the same time,
how old were you at that time, sir? How old were you guys around that time?
I was just 24 years. I said it earlier on that I started the struggle in 1993 at the age of 23. So in 1994 that we formed Odua Youth Movement, I was just 24 years. Precisely, that was my month, April, that Abiodun Kolawole, Comrade Abiodun Kolawole, Comrade Bumi Ojo, and a lot of former student union leaders in Yoruba land, Abiodun Aremu, and we formed Odua Youth Movement. So there was an Ijaw man, is now late. They call him Tony Gurube. Tony Gurube was one that advised us that the youth cannot do it alone. We have to form a group that will incorporate the elderly people, both male and female, and the youth. So that was one of the reasons we decided, 9 of us, in August 29, 1994, at the office of now Senator Okoyemi Bamidele, 110 Palm Avenue Street in Mushin. We sat and agreed on 2 names, Odua National Congress and Odua People's Congress. At the end of this, 7 of us voted for Odua People's Congress, 2 voted for Odua National Congress. So that was how OPC come on board in August 29, 1994. And in the wake of the struggle, in 1996, there was a 1996 there was a procession called by Olisa Ogbakoba, which we play a lot of role through the structure of OPC, and the mother of all rally called by National Democratic Coalition, NADECO, which we play a lot of role because we have a see with the grassroots people from the mainland local government. Dependable force in the local
That was
government.
the old mainland, which extended to Surulere, if I'm correct. That was the old mainland.
No, Surulere, the old mainland did not involve Surulere local government. We are talking of the old mainland from Yaba to Oyingbo. So the whole mainland local government by then. So the forces between the mainland local government and Mushin local government always be a determining factor for what will happen in civil society action group in Lagos. So we started that struggle, that protest in Mushin local government, and it was indeed mother of all rally. From Yaba, within 1 hour, we were in possession to Oyingbo. On getting to Oyingbo, we realized that the followers, the crowd in that protest was more than 10,000. So we now move and turn back to move to Abat Macaulay Road. By the time we get to Abat Macaulay Road, the crowd was not less than 20,000 people. That was a rally that shook Abacha junta government. It was a serious day by then. Although a lot of our people was arrested, a lot of people was wounded, and most of the leaders of the National Democratic Coalition came and spoke with the media. And in August, in 1998, there was another procession that the Joint Action Committee, before we now agree to partner with full NADECO struggle, the Joint Action Committee decided that we should mark the day Kudrat Abiola was killed. That was June 4. And in that meeting, we agreed that we should carry an empty coffin from our base to the Alausa, which is the seat of power that Brigadier Mamarwa was a governor by then. So we thank God that we are one of the group that succeeded to carry the coffee from Mushi, and we were being dispatched in the front of, let me say, on our way crossing to Ikeja. But we moved a lot of crowd from Mushi. But getting there, the regular mobile police have already waited for us that we must not cross to Alausa The illusion is that they thought it was spiritual by then, but it was not spiritual. It's just a mindset and determination. And what we agree in the meeting that we should use the empty coffee as a symbol of how they killed Mrs. Kudirat Abiola in 1996. And another serious possession was June 12th in 1998, just about 8 days after June 4 scenario. The possession, we agreed that we should meet in Yaba with a large...
Abacha had died at that time, sir.
Abu Salam was in power. Yes, Abu Salam was in power. Abacha died in June 8th, if I don't make a mistake. But Abu Salam took over.
Wow.
And we
That's
agreed
exactly
that
today.
Yes. Yeah. So
Wow.
Abu Salam took over, and we agree that the struggle must continue, that we must mark June 12th with a serious protest, because military always be a military. So on our movement, we agreed to converge in Idioro. On getting to Idioro, we realized that the state agent have got the hint of our movement. So we now move forward and started the possession under the bridge, like Kalakola Republic, the place that the Fela Nikulako have his own building. So when we move from there, the Milan troop join us. We now move to Yaba. On getting to Yaba, they have already stationed about 7 armored tanks. That was the day that Akula had been killed. If not because of the rescue of Shina Lomirikon, Comrade Shina Lomirikon. I was standing, the armored tank was coming. Shina Lomirikon was a Gani, come here. He just pushed me out of the way of the armored tank. That was the day I could have been a dead person in this. So there's a lot of risk. When we realized that we are being dispatched in Yaba, we moved to Ojuelegba for another possession. So before the police got to Ojuelegba, we have started another possession to Stadium. On getting to Stadium, the media have already taken their picture, they have read their story, so we agreed that we have achieved our aim to mark June 12, 1998. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Mike,
yeah.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
So that was all till 1998. In 1999, it's another scenario about having a civilian government. And you know the civilian government does the tension of active struggle on June 12th. Abu Salam told carrot to the politician and they grab it. About 99% of the product of Nadeco went to go and join politics under the platform of Alliance for Democracy.
Can we go back a bit? I want us to go back a bit before we come to 1999. You were risking your life. You were running all these rallies. You were doing all of this stuff. Why were you risking your life this much? What was that important? I think some of our viewers who are young people who were too young at that time need to understand. Why were you taking these risks?
Well, I thought annulment of June 12 is a serious injustice to the Nigerian people. And I have the feeling that it's a serious setback to our democracy. And I have the feeling that that was the first time I have the opportunity to vote in Nigeria. That was my first time that I have the opportunity to exercise my franchise. And I realized I voted for a candidate and the result was coming out. In June 23, somebody just come in the broadcast as a fellow Nigeria, I hereby annul that election. So I have the feelings that we must rise up to fight for our rights. We must rise up to ready to lay down our life for our dear country. We must rise up to conscientize most of the people that do not know the meaning of fighting for their rights in their country and their environment. And we must even sensitize people who does not know the implication of what happened. Many multinational companies left Nigeria immediately after the annulments. So, and the injury, June 12, 1993, caused us we have never recovered till now. A foundation of a country collapsed from beginning and will be collapsing gradually. And most of the multinational companies that left our country have never come back. Some of them went to Ghana, some of them went back to Europe. And we realized that that's our future. I was very young, just 23 years. If we don't rise up to fight for our rights, it will affect our future. And that was what is still happening now. You can imagine, I'm just 50 last 2 months. And assuming we did not rise up in 1993, I'm not sure that we have a democracy in 1999. It's because of the pressure from the pro-democracy in Nigeria and some of Nigerians who believe in good governance in diaspora. That was because of the pressure from the international community. And that was the reason the military have to leave power and give us the constitution that was being written by them in 1999 by 26 men of military men of occupation. And now the struggle is in second phase now. We have a civil rule, not real democracy, and they gave us a document to govern the nation, to govern our country, written by them. The document now become an impediment to the growth of our dear nation. Most of the content of that document did not reflected rule of law, did not agree on democracy, government of the people, by the people, for the well-being of the people, which now being a second phase of our struggle now.
Before we go to that second phase of the struggle, sir, you were 24. The 24 years old of today is 23. The 23 years old of today is probably still thinking about, buying an iPhone, going on Instagram, just enjoying themselves. Do you feel pained that the generation of today is not appreciative of the suffering and the labours of heroes past? Àwọn kan ní pé ká sọ Yorùbá náà, wọ́n ní pé ààrẹ represent Yorùbá, so ṣé ká máa mix ẹ̀ sà àbí ká kí lẹ feel sà? Okay. Ṣé ẹ rò pé ṣé ẹ máa ń rò pé àwọn ọ̀dọ́ ayé ìsìn bóyá láìmoore ni wọ́n ṣá sà?
No. The problem is that the institution that metamorphosed to civil society have been collapsed already. I'm not saying that the institution did not exist. The institution have been infiltrated and it have been weakened. The institution was the student union product. The student union product, by then, when they left school, they graduated from school, they metamorphosed, they progressed into an activist. And some of them run a secretariat of NGO or different civil society. But most of our student union now are being infiltrated by either federal government and state government. You can imagine most of the election of the student union, there's no way you can escape in the institution without the candidate of either federal government or state government will win that election because of the resources given to them. But by then, the student union in most of the campus, they are just like a government on their own. They have a way they run their system. So when the civil society group call them, they know themselves. Most of them, they are junior to them when they are in school together. So they know those people that they have trained to different schools. So when you come for a rally, you network all the student union leaders. And immediately a pool of followers of students will come to that area and they will move that struggle. And people like Chief Gani and Dr. Barrister Femi Falana, SAN, were there to assist them when they have problems on the basis of injustice in their school. When the school authority want to rusticate them because they belong to student union. So what I'm saying is that the background of building an activist have a serious problem and highly infiltrated. But unfortunately, the Nigerian Labour Congress that's supposed to be a mother of all civil society groups that's supposed to help this group have been infiltrated too. I remember not even in the time of June 12th, when the president of Nigerian Labour Congress called a rally or a procession, every organization would like to join them. But now, when the Labour Congress call any rally, you have already have the mindset that they have already compromised in the villa, and when you join them, you are just wasting your time. So all this institution is not working like before. Most of the socio-cultural groups, even in Yoruba land, are being infiltrated. Even our own group, if care is not taken, some of them are being infiltrated. So, and we call for democracy. Most of our leaders that have the opportunity to be in power, they use the opportunity, they are part of us, and they now weaken the institution that brought them to power. And that was one of the reasons that a Showe can be arrested like that, no serious protest in Nigeria. Because when Showe want to contest for president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he went to different campuses to campaign. But at the end of the day, he realized that he couldn't even have 20,000 votes in entire nation as a presidential candidate. So there's a serious problem for the background of our students who's supposed to be a leader of tomorrow, who's supposed to be a watchdog to any wrong thing happening in our society. So nǹkan tí mo try láti sọ ni pé wọ́n ní amúkùn ẹrù ẹ̀wọ́ òwò sàlẹ̀ owó òkè ló ń wò. So ibi tí a ti máa ń kóra wa jọ àwọn ọmọléèwé ni la máa ń kóra wa jọ nígbà yẹn. And irú èmi ń sìn ibi tẹ́mi ti wá yàtọ̀. Mi ò gba student union product fi wọ activist. Dr. Felifashion ló mú wa wọnú activist. Nígbà tó mú wa wọnú activist náà, because Dr. Felifashion activist ni as a medical doctor. Àwọn unions tó wà ní MPA òun ni medical doctors wọn, òun ló ń treat wọn. So òun náà dẹ̀ ti lead the Nigeria Labour Party náà as a candidate in presidential in the presidential election. So ìyẹn ló fi mú wa wọ̀, bó ṣe mú wa wọ̀ ó kàn hand over sí àwọn tó yẹ pé wọ́n ti wà ní student union line, àwọn yẹn ló wá train wa ní ìgbà yẹn. Ṣùgbọ́n sìn tó bá pe student union pé kó wá sí rally àbí procession, a ní owó ńkọ́ tí ẹ bá fún wọn ní owó wọn ní dáhùn, tó bá dẹ̀ báyìí tó bá tẹ̀ ń ra ṣe tó bá ń lọ tẹ́ ẹ bá fún wọn lówó ìjà náà máa dálẹ̀. So bá ṣe ń ronú nígbà tí military wà power ó ti yàtọ̀ sígbà tí civilian wà. And adẹ̀ wá gbàgbé wípé nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà civilian yìí gan ó wá worse ju nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà tí military wà. Àwọn military tẹ̀yìn ní akọ̀wò wọn pé wọ́n pàṣẹ wá, ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n yẹn tó bá fẹ́ kó jẹ díẹ̀díẹ̀ náà ń kó jẹ. Àwọn tó wá wá gbádá ń sìn wọ́n ti wọ́n bọ̀ ní ojú méjèèjì ni, ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ti mọ kí gbogbo ibi tó máa dí lẹ́nu. Ìwọ tó bá fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n ti mọ̀ bọ́ yẹn máa dí ẹ lẹ́nu. Ìwọ tó bá rí pariwo ẹ bá pọ̀ jù wọ́n mọ̀ bọ́ ṣe máa harass ẹ. So àwọn nǹkan tá a ní lọ́wọ́ tó dà pé gbogbo nǹkan wá ṣòro, tó dà pé ìyà ń jẹ Nàìjíríà ṣùgbọ́n a lè jáde bí ti tẹ́lẹ̀ ká kọ ìyà. Ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo nǹkan lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ni o, tásìkò bá tó kò sẹ́dá kan tó lè dá dúró.
Ààrẹ ìgbà wo ni OPC evolve tó wá di pé ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí fi ti ẹsẹ̀ lé bọ̀? Kí ló fa evolving yẹn? When did the OPC transmit into
interview torí àwọn tó jẹ́ tí wọ́n ṣe Yorùbá?
When did OPC begin to explore traditional method in the struggle? At what stage was that?
Well, it happened in 1998. Our struggle from 1993 to 1998, there was nothing like having a traditional content to defend ourselves. But when we realized that the Operation Sweep and the police were killing our people, were wasting our people, defenseless Nigerians. So we now agree that we must prepare to defend ourselves. We now go to the history of our great warrior. What are they using to fight by then without even gun? Before the gun of coming to Yoruba land, which is Ibon Ogunkiriji, we started using modern gun. in Yoruba land. That was a war in 1870 to 1886, Kriji War, which Ijisha trade merchant brought the modern gun from abroad to that war. So we now ask ourselves, what is our forefather have been using for more than 8,000 years of existence without gun? And they are winning war. So we started doing research in different angles. So the research brought a lot of things that was not even expensive to defend ourselves. And when we apply it, we realized that we saw a very good result on the basis of self-defense. And one of the important laws in heaven is self-defense. When you die, you have an opportunity to use plant and leaf to sustain your life. When you die, God will query you that you have the opportunity. You couldn't use what you have in your disposal. So OPC started using that thing. And when we started using it to defend ourselves, the security agent realized that this group is highly determined. I can tell you authoritatively, one of the reasons that Abu Salam hand over to civilian, the reason. We got that security report from one of the wife of Chief MK Abiola, Mrs. Dupe Onitiri. Mrs. Dupe Onitiri told us that you people did not know you have contributed a lot to this struggle. It's because one of the reasons Abu Salam just left power within 11 months is because of the existence of OPC. Because they realize that you are highly determined organization, and if care is not taken, if they don't hand over power to a Yoruba man, people will sponsor you to go for. People will sponsor you and you go for Odua Republic. That was one of the reasons psychologically. So when we see some position maltreating us, calling us names, we normally say you are not grateful. You are not grateful to us because we fought for this struggle, but we thought it's not right for us to go into politics because we thought the best thing we should have as a nation that will move this country forward is to run this country on the basis of true federalism, to run it on the basis of how we got independent and how we write our republic constitution in 1963. So the using of traditional content to defend ourselves started in 1998. I think I've answered that question.
Fantastic. Let me people are sending me a lot of questions about today. For people who want to know, for example, what the role of Are Ona Kakanfo is and all of that. We're going to come to all of that. Let's first go to, you need to understand where Are himself has come from. Are, were you detained during the process? Were you in captivity? Did you have to go on exile? What were some of the sacrifices that you also paid during this period?
Where I started my history of detention, that was 2001. I was declared wanted because of the death.
You didn't have detention in the 90s?
No, because we were operating underground by then. We don't grant an interview. People don't know us more than when I became a leader in 1999. And my open prison started in, let me say, 2000, when DPO Owolabi was killed in Shomolu local government. I was not a member of OPC of Shomolu. I was a member of OPC in Mushin local government. But the commissioner of police by then, there was Commissioner Okiro. When he got to power, Mike Okiro.
Yes.
I decided to declare me wanted because I'm the leader of OPC. Not mindful that I was not in the vicinity when DPO Owolabi was killed based on what they allege. But I have to, because I have little experience by then, I have to keep myself for a period of 20 months. It's 20 months. So after 20 months, thanks to Justice Adewale Thompson, Justice Adewale Thompson called me to Ibadan and said, Gani, what happened? And I explained to him, are you there when this police was attacked? I said, no. Are you a resident of Shomolu? I said, no. I said, I'm a judge. You don't need to run. Go and surrender yourself. You don't need to run. You are acting on the basis of ignorance. These people will continue to be tagging you as criminal. So with the advice of, firstly, before Justice Adewale Thompson, Dr. Dari Babanisa was the one that called me that I should go and surrender myself. I should not be running up and down. And when I heard from an elderly man and retired justice, so tactically, I surrendered myself in Ikorodu, and I was taken to State Police Command in Ikeja. On getting there, Okiro told me that I will charge you different type of charges in this time. I told him immediately, you are not God. So I was victimized. I was detained in SARS. They had the criminal in the SARS to deal with me. This OPC leader that brought most of your people to our own cell, deal with him. But luckily, because we have some of the Yoruba people there, they say, no, this is our leader. We will not touch him. I spent about 4 days in that detention. I was charged to court in a one magistrate court in Ikeja. On getting there, the lawyer did not even prepare for it. Barrister Kayamo was there. Kayamo. Kayamo said, okay, Festus Kayamo. Say, oh, you are bringing Gani here. I will lead. Oh, the lawyer join me. In the hearing, we have about 99 lawyers. Kayamo leaded. Wow. When the magistrate saw the figure, they were registering that we stand for him, we stand for him. When the magistrate saw the team of those lawyers, he quickly said, they should remand me in Krikri maximum prison. Yes, that was what happened. I was remanded in Krikri maximum because he realized that the police that brought me, they are just 2 on the basis of prosecute. Although the charge they brought is holding charges. It cannot fly with the magistrate. They just want to use the platform of magistrate to remand me. And the magistrate did not waste time. He just make the ruling, oral ruling. I remind him, go and remind him in the Krikri maximum prison. Krikri is another scenario. When I got there, most of the criminals said they will kill him. The OPC member, most of us here, OPC brought about 70% to this prison. That we came at the end of the day. They set a panel for me. You know, there is a panel in the prison. They set a panel for me. They interview me for more than 4 hours. After that interview, most of them fall in love. They say this guy is a genius. That was around 2001. So they started broadcasting what they heard from me in the 4 corners of the Krikri maximum prison. Within 24 hours, I have many friends in the prison. So I was in that prison for 3 months, and I got my bail in federal court in Ikoyi. On signing my bail bond, they rearrest me again. They took me to Eleweoro, Ogun State Police Command, headquarters. On getting to Eleweoro, the late Alake of Egba, the late Alake called the Commissioner of Police. It's not Ekpandom. They call it Ekpandom, the Commissioner of Police by then, and call him that, why should you bring him to Ogun State? Did we have a crisis of OPC in Ogun State? Do you want to cause problem in our state? Why should you bring him? This is not Lagos. Okay, go and put him in a nice place. Don't maltreat him. It's a Yoruba person. I stand for him. That was late Alaki. And the governor of the state by then, Governor Olusegun Oshoba, called the Commissioner of Police again. Why do you bring him to my state? You want to come and kill him here? So there was a pressure on the Commissioner of Police. He was confused. So they went to go and buy a mattress. I just saw that the change of character from there. Those who have been victimizing me, threatening me, they brought a mattress. They bought a lot of food. I said, I won't eat. For 3 days, I couldn't eat. I did not eat. So on Monday, they took me to another magistrate court. The magistrate court remanded me in Ibarra prison. I was remanded in Ibarra prison. So we filed a bail application. Justice Jacob, that was a Justice Jacob. The judge gave the ruling orally that you want to kill this one, like the one you kill Abiola. And he said anybody that worth 20,000 naira to stand as a shorty. You know, there's no Nigeria that know what 20,000 naira. So immediately I got my bail. I was taken to the chamber of Chief Gani Fayemi. After 1 month, they struck out the case in Ogun State. So that's the scenario one of my detention. The second detention was 2005, when I started criticizing President Olusegun Obasanjo that it's alien to practice of Yoruba people to go against the constitution. That the constitution did not allow third time. It's only 2 times. That we won't support the third time. So a crisis that happened in Yanokaja, they just picked me and Dr. Freddy Fascio. They took us to Abuja. From Abuja, we were there for about 3 weeks. They took us back to Lagos. On Lagos, they remanded us in Kirikiri again. We were in Kirikiri for another 2 months. The DPP advice came that we don't have a case to answer that. What happened in Yanopaja is a purely union issues, National Road of NRC issues, not OPC. On getting out of Kirikiri maximum prison, we have been rearrested for a combined police from Abuja and Alagbon. They took us to Alagbon. We spent 2 weeks in Alagbon. They took us. God save us, we will have died in the aircrafts that happened in 2005, because we supposed to be in the second aircraft, but the police authority told, is it not aero contractor that there's order from above from presidents, they should drop 11 people from that board. So they pick us in as 11 with the police. The next flight that come after us that we're supposed to fly have a serious crash. We were in the crash, yes. Every passenger died. Yes.
Wow.
We were in the fourth headquarters in Abuja. They told us that 2 hours ago we lost an aircraft and they have crashed in Ifo. So on getting there again, they rearranged us to Force CID. On getting to Force CID, the Onovo as a DIG operation ordered us to be detained. The IG there was IG Sunday Oyindero. After he heard that we were being detained in a very serious place before CID, he came there and called Onovo that why should you detain them here? So they move us to the IG guest house. We were in the IG guest house. Within 1 month, they move us to Suleja prison, where they kept theft and common criminals. So we now issue a statement that why should we bring us to Niger State? It's either Abuja or Lagos. So when we get to court, the judge now said they should go and detain us in Kuje. I spent another 12 months in Kuje plus 2 months in Lagos. That's 14 months. Dr. Freddy Fascio got his bail in 5 months in detention. So when you are talking of the issue of being sacrificed for the struggle, because we couldn't give up after democracy in 1999. We couldn't give up. We continued the struggle based on restructuring, that Nigeria must restructure. And at the same time, the issue of cultural evangelism, I've never started. When I get back from detention in 2000, is it not December 19, 2006, I now diversified the activities of OPC. We founded Oloko Festival Foundation for cultural promotion. We founded Gani Adams Foundation for charity. We now leave OPC for watchdog on the basis of so that was one of the reasons that we reduced violence in OPC, because some of the hardliner person in OPC did not like it. But I told them that our image is very, very important. We must take cognizance of the environment we are living. Yoruba don't like hard things. When you are fighting for them, if you don't use your intellect, if you don't use your brain, you will now become the enemy of Yorubas. Yoruba don't like you to take law into your hand when you are fighting a cause. Yoruba don't like you to just go to armed struggle without an understanding from the stakeholders. So when we realize that we have to change our approach and diversify our struggle, you ask, some people will ask us that, is OPC still existing? I will reply them, it's still existing and working stronger based on strategy
in a
and
different
facts.
way. In a different way. In a reformed way.
Reformed way, and we have diversified the activities of the group.
Did you ever meet MK Abiola? Did you ever had any relationship with him? Did you ever meet him or encounter him?
I was very young, but we look him in afar when he's addressing us. Those who have the opportunity to close to Chief MK Abiola, while Dr. Fedi Fashion, Sonya, those are our leader by then. You know, you will see somebody just rise up and say he became a leader. What's your background? We are very young. We have a solid background on training. We have the people that know much about the struggle that conscientize us. We have the people that give us information to build our morale and determination. So we were grooming, they were grooming us in process and sequence. Not people that will just come there, call themselves a civil society organization without having a background, without having an history. You can see what I've just explained. I summarize it. If I go to details, we can write about 4 books on what happened between 1993 to 2010 or 2005. Not talking of what happened in 2005 to 2020. Although we have written about 4 books, published about 4 books. But most of what I'm saying now is not all we loaded in those books.
So it's a privilege that we are hearing this because they are not even in the books. I want to hear some more stories in the books. I want you to tell us some more stories. We have hundreds of people who are watching this live. Between 1994 and 1999, what were some of the highlights of the achievement? I want you to go deeper and give us some specifics of the OPC, even though while you were underground. Some of the things that you guys did that actually drove fear into the heart of the military government.
Well, I will give the glory not only OPC, to civil society group, the lefty politician, the progressive politician within our midst, the international communities. We are talking of a country like US, Canada, and some European countries who supported us, and South Africa through Mandela in the struggle. And I will give the glory to the committed product of Nigerian Labour Congress. The committed product of Nigerian Labour Congress. And some of our artisans, some of our local unions who always give you a free vehicle where you want to protest for the June 12th, the validation of June 12th. And when you are talking of the achievement, if not because of the struggle, we won't have democracy in 1999. If not because of the struggle, our people will not understand that tactically the military have changed the agreement of our forefather in 1960 by having an independent together on the basis of having a government on federating units, on the basis of having a government of regionalism that every region will develop at their own pace. If not because of the struggle, people will not understand that we need a constitutional conference that we glam up on. Although it was not now changed to national conference. The Obasanjo-led government organized National Political Reform Conference, which was aborted in the middle way. But the good Lord Jonathan organized National Conference in 2014 that about 480 content of reports was being given to the federal government to move the nation forward. But the 1993 to 1999 struggle of the annulment of June 12 changed the physique of Nigeria, of knowing the importance of democracy against the military government, knowing the difference between autocratic government and government of the people. And it gives us a background and history to guide our nascent democracy from 1999 to 2020. Because if anything is happening now within our democracy, we remind them that, do you know what we passed through before we got this democracy? Even most of the people in power now, even the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, did not even support us when we were fighting the cause for democracy. He was supporting the military. But we thank God, Yoruba always say, iṣẹ́ ló ṣe ń dá ṣe, owó ò ṣe ń dáná. Tí ọdẹ bá lọ sóko, tó bá pẹran bọ̀, òun nìkan kọ́ ló máa jẹ. So you can only work alone, but you can't spend money alone. And if an hunter went to hunt in the bush,
forest,
when they kill in the forest, when they kill an animal, he only cannot eat that meat. So that was what is happening right now. And that was one of the reasons we couldn't relent our effort. If any mistake is happening in our democracy, we don't mind to lend our voice to be an watchdog of what is happening, even though we haven't joined politics.
Let's talk about Amotekun for a second as we begin to talk about the future. All of those has happened in the back. OPC had fought for Oduduwa Republic and the protection of our sovereign land. But in recent years, we've seen alleged kidnapping. I don't want to mention the name of any sect that have been responsible for all of this kidnapping in Nigeria, but in particular in the space of what you would call Oduduwa Republic. And you've thrown your weight, of course, behind Amotekun. Can you tell us some of the thoughts that you have about the whole Amotekun, and how is OPC working with the Amotekun project to also ensure that you are protecting the domain, in particular now that you are the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò, the domain of the Oduduwa nation?
Well, what we are still agitating for on the basis of OPC, now we are still agitating for restructuring. We are still agitating for true federalism. We are still agitating for how Nigerian can be restructured based on our agreement in 1960 and 1963. How we can incorporate 1963 Republic Constitution with the recommendation of the National Conference in 2014 and move our nation forward. But if the Yoruba people said they are ready for Oduduwa Republic, I'm ready. Because Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò don't fear war, and you don't fear a cause. So if Yoruba people say now they are ready for Oduduwa Republic, who am I to say are we against it? But when we want to tell the truth, the best thing for Yoruba nation to have is total liberation, because like what Metiala was saying yesterday or 2 days ago, said that the whole Nigeria was designed for a government of Nigeria was designed to favor the Fulani people. We must not deceive ourselves. We are our intellectuals, our political leaders have tried to make sure to move this country forward. The Fulani will tell you, no, we own this nation, you can't move it forward. This is how we want to do it. So on the basis of not deceiving ourselves, if Yoruba people said today they want Oduduwa Republic, I'm ready. Self-determination is one of the content in the Constitution, in the law of United Nations. Self-determination is one of the content that was highly respected in the Charter of the African Union. So when you say you want a self-determination, it's not a crime. It depends how you agitate for it. In as much you are not approaching it in a violent way, in as much you are not approaching it in a situation to waste life and declare war. If you do it on the basis of intellectual way, the entire nation, the global village, the international community will reason with you. When they saw the personality that is behind it and the content of the document you present to all these international organizations, they will grant it, because they won't want Nigeria to end in war. We have a population of about 200 million people. If there is war in Nigeria, who would take our refugee? If there is war in Nigeria, can Niger, Chad, Cameroon, and Benin Republic take our refugee? So the international community will prefer to solve the problem of Nigeria, the most black populous nation in the whole world, to solve it in a peace and harmony on the basis of diplomacy. So what I'm saying now, my agitation still limits to restructuring. But if tomorrow or today, the entire institution, the entire OSO, the entire opinion molders in Yoruba now say, now, Areo, as our generalissimo, we want the cause of self-determination. I'm ready to do that. So I'm just correcting the impression that you said OPC is agitating for Oodua Republic. We have some of our elder scholars that have been calling for Oodua Republic, which I will be the last person to against it. And if you have some people that join them, don't deceive yourself. I will join them because I'm a Yoruba in blood and vein.
Let's bring the question back. Talk on.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Yes,
so the issue of Amotekun, when I was installed in January 13, 2018, as the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land, within 3 months, I realized that we have been seriously infiltrated by criminals, not the genuine Fulani herdsmen. We have the genuine Fulani herdsmen that have been living in Yoruba land. We have more than 3 generations living in peace and harmony. But we now realize that some foreign Fulani herdsmen came to Yoruba land. We have been infiltrated. We can't farm again. Our ladies are being raped. Some of the farms, some of the successful farmers, they burn their farm, they kill and maim people. To the extent they were kidnapping. To the extent that they know our forest, they know the terrain of our forest more than the Yoruba that is living there. So I wrote a letter to the Southwest governors and all Council of Obas, including Oni of Ife and Alaafin of Oyo, and prominent Obas in Yoruba land. So I wrote letter that there is need for security summit, Southwest Security Summit. I wrote that letter. They could not reply me for a period of 1.5 months, and now make it a media content. Later, I now wrote a reminder to them that this also letter. So after 2 weeks, they did not reply me. So I started calling the governor. I managed to get about 3 or 4 out of the governor by then. And they said, 2 said they have got that letter. 1 said he haven't got it, and I sent it to them through electronic media online. So, and they got it. So what I want to bring out from it, after 8 months to 9 months, the Southwest governors met and agreed to organize the Southwest Security Summit, which held around July last year. And although we could not end that summit because there was no communique, there was no, even most of the speakers, there is no royal father that spoke in the gathering. They did not even allow me that suggested the security summit to speak in that summit. And that was not even national anthem. As a governor, when you get to a gathering, a national anthem, when you hand it, that was a national anthem. So but the success behind it is that they established a think tank committee of about 30 people, which we don't even have a representative there. But what came out from that think tank committee was that they recommended a Southwest Security Network, coded Amotekun. So the recommendation came out after 2 months of the summit. But the governor were having fear because of their political interest to bring it out. And on January 3rd, this year, a special assistant to the state government just issued a statement that they will launch Amotekun in January 7th. So as Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò, this is what I've been waiting for. Within 24 hours, I issued a statement to support it. So on 2 days later, another statement emanated from another governor that not January 7 again, January 9. 24 hours to January 9, the villa summoned all the APC governors to Abuja. We know there was a pressure on our governors in the ruling party. So I organized a press conference and said, anybody that against Amotekun is an enemy of the Yoruba people, and that person did not have human feelings. So at the end of the day, Amotekun was launched without the presence of 2 governors. They sent their representative. The Lagos State government did not even send its representative. So that was the beginning of the scenario of Amotekun. And a group from the north called Miatiala. A group from the north called Miatiala now become the opposition of Amotekun. They were issuing statements, threatening different things within three days. Now call them that what is wrong with you? There is ISWA in the north. About 9 states in the north is running an ISWA as a security outfit. And what we are doing now is our own security outfit. We didn't call it state police. And in the process, Attorney General issued a statement that Amotekun is illegal. We now fought the battle. And you can't say, when you don't say ISWA is illegal, our own in Southwest cannot be illegal. So we overflow that issue in the media. Most of our legal luminary came out, Afe Babalola, a lot of them came out and say what the Attorney General said was wrong. At the end of the day, he retried the statement that he did not condemn Amotekun. It was just advising that it should pass through the State House of Assembly, become a law, so that the subsequent governor will have a law to back it. So I said, well, we say, you are welcome. If you say that, there's no problem. So what I'm saying, without taking too much of your time, we have fought Amotekun. Amotekun have come to stay. The all State House of Assembly have passed it to be a law, a document to back the governors in every state. It's only Lagos State governor that haven't signed his own law that was passed by the Lagos State House of Assembly. All the remaining 5 governors have signed it to law. And I know that about 3 or 4 of them have established a board and DG that will coordinate it, because it was well organized with the content of the operation, so that it will not affect a regular security architecture of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Amotekun was viewed to complement the effort of the security agent by the federal government. So that was where Amotekun here. But the recruitment, it was so funny that most of the governors, that when they are silent, we were fighting the war of Amotekun, they haven't called our group for recruitment. It's only the Ondo State and the Ekiti State. Even our friend in Oyo State, Makinde, they haven't called our group for recruitment. The Ogun State, they haven't called our group. And we are telling them, when you recruit your political surrogates to security, those who did not have liver to face common criminal and professional criminal, the effort will be fruitless. Because the hope of Yoruba people have been raised that Amotekun can complement the effort of the normal security group to make sure we have effective security in the Southwest. If you don't have effective security, why will you have economy buoyant? Why will you have encourage an investor, both local investor and foreign investor, to do business in your own region? If you don't have a very good security, there can never be a progress. The major responsibility of any government is to protect life and property. And I believe that Amotekun will saddle the responsibility if we can do it in honesty, truthful, and be fair to every group that have antecedent about security.
Are, thank you so much for your views on Amotekun. I want to, as we begin to wrap up, there are areas that I want us to touch. The unity of the Yoruba race. Enu Yoruba Oko, Sibi Kosa. What is the way forward in uniting the Yoruba people? Because when you became Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò, one of the things that you said you wanted to do was to bring the Yoruba people together to speak at one. But we have not been united. The Yoruba race has not been united. What are you doing in that regard, and what is the solution?
Well, we realize that 2 things divide Yorubas. We are talking of politics. Politics, partisan issues divide us seriously. The second is garbage history. You will see the history that was not even written to any content of a book for a period of 400 years. Somebody will just bring that history out. And if we refrain of telling lies about history, be truthful about history, And we believe that partisan politics should not affect our unity. I can tell you authoritatively, Yoruba will be highly united compared to our northern brothers. When you see the northern brothers in the Green Chamber, House of Reps, and the Red Chamber in the Senate, when issues that affect their interests, they will forget that a person coming from PDP, a person coming from APC, they will forget their political background, they will forget their political platform. They will come together and support that issue and make sure they won in the parliament. Even the Igbos, they come together irrespective of political party they have. But in Yoruba land, you will see that no PDP, no, APC. You will see that it's APC, it's a PDP. So in a situation that we don't know the implication of what we are doing, Yoruba will tell you, Oshelua law, Alajobi lo maku. And in a good example, when the issue of Amotekun arises, I know it based on the interest of the Yoruba people. I gave my 100% to all the governors, irrespective of any political they belong, because security is very paramount. It's when you are being secure that you can play effective and a very good politics. When your life is threatened, you can't even campaign in certain area in Yoruba land. So the unity is about guiding our people about history. The history that you should not bring the history that suits you because you want to ride on other person. History is one of the problems. The second one is the issue of how can we manage our partisan issues that won't affect our unity. The third one is fanaticism about religion. There's some religion people now that refuse to speak Yoruba anymore in their congregation. There's some religion people that even refuse to wear a Yoruba cloth that will be on suit anytime they are moving because of their religion background. And there's some religion people that do not cherish anything about our heritage, anything about culture because of religion. There's a difference between religion, tradition, and culture. There's a sharp differences within these three contents. Religion is about how you will communicate to Almighty God, how you have a congregation to worship together and pray and say the right thing and be righteousness. The culture is about the cloth you wore. A good example, can you see me sitting down on my throne as a putting coat and tie? It's against my culture and tradition. And you will see me putting leather cap. This is Yoruba cap, abetiaja, and with my bead in my hand. Although I didn't wear agbada today, I just want to be smarter in this interview. If I put on my agbada, I have to put bead on top of it. That's your culture. That's your way of life. That was how God created you from the immemorial. That was how God wants you to be. That was how when God see you from his throne, he will be happy that these people did not lose their identity. The tradition is about what I'm sitting here. This is the tradition. This is the tradition of head of defense in Yoruba land. The seat of Are Ona Kakanfo. And the head of all warrior in Yoruba land. That's the tradition. And the traditional ruler, all the Obas, Oni of Ife, Alaafin of Oyo, and other Obas, the seat they are sitting on is tradition. And when you see somebody who sat as a traditional ruler, who governed as a traditional ruler, you take a female person will lean at your top and even prostrated in front of you. A male product will lie down with all his chest and even rolling for you as an Oba. You now say you don't believe in the traditional issue again, you are a born again Oba. There's a difference between religion and tradition. So, and our ancestors, our elemental being will not be happy with what's happening because you have already demonized them. When you demonize the tradition that hold the system of the Yoruba land, it will even be difficult for you to unite because the Heavenly Father helps those who help themselves. Before you get anything physical, you will get it from spiritual realm. A technology we are talking about, about 80 to 90% of technology have a spiritual content. And most of the modern religion will not show you the spiritual way to a technological content. So you can only get all these things from your own root and your own spiritual background. And when you see our people castigating everything that comes from Yoruba land, and they glorify everything that comes from foreigners, and the foreigner will not give you the secret of their living. They won't give you the secret of how they build their plane. They won't give you the secret how they build their ship, a ship like a 3-story building standing on the top of water without sinking. They will give you the technology. They will give you the secret of technology. We are seeing ourselves live in different houses. In the olden days, you have to be in the studio. They put camera on you. This live transmission is technology. Most of the Asia countries were being colonized by the Western world. But they took their education, but they don't live their history. They don't live their culture. They didn't live their tradition. A good example is India. Indian as a country. The British colonized them, but India did not allow the British to take away their religion, Hindus. They did not allow them to take away their language, which is Indian language. Now, Indian is one of the best software maker in the whole world. And when you are talking of medical tourism in the world, India is one of the best nations. And when you go for a treatment in India, it's much cheaper and you can have a better treatment in a short course. When you see a plane flying to India, Delhi, Mumbai, others, about 70% of the tourists, they are medical tourists. And you can see the way how Saudi Arabia package their religion tourism. If you see where Kaaba is in 60s, it's not the same structure we are having now. They modernize it every way. They encourage tourists on religion to come to their own country every day. The Israelites, Jerusalem, they repackage what they have. But our people continue to demonize what we have here. They will demonize river and they are eating fish in the river. They will demonize river in the sea. Olosa here, they are taking soil to build houses. They will demonize mommy water in the river. They were using pound a day, and they are fishing every day. They are making millions from that water. You will demonize river Osun. They are damming that water and networking water to various houses. They will demonize water, the borehole you are having in your house, omialaleni, omirumoleni. And I think we have to open the brain of our people that everything God given to you. Even the issue of you are talking about OPC using a traditional way to protect themselves. Are you telling me OPC know more than the main herbalists we have before? There was a time when we get to Oshogbo, the traditional chief in Oshogbo told Ataoja that they are fearing to come to Oshogbo because of OPC are many. The Kabiyesi now called me, and I said, Kabiyesi, how can your children be coming to a festival and you, our elderly father, are having fear with them? I now told Kabiyesi, ìdí bàbá lọmọ boko, kò sí bí ọmọdé ṣe lè láṣọ bí àgbà tó lè lákìsà bí àgbà. So because what you have, you are throwing it away, you don't cherish it, all these younger products are not have it, you are now saying you are fearing them. Who are they? Are they not your children? And they are using it to protect you. About 50% of the local or of the private security outfit, or 70% of private security outfits in the urban area of Yoruba land is being secured by OPC. And what is the secret? It's because of our native protection that they believe on it. I can tell you categorically, the time of Ramadan, we have about 65% of our members as Muslim. And I can tell you 95% of them will not miss one out of the 30 days fasting. And we have about 35 to 40%. And some of them, about 30%, who are Christian. Some of them are Christian, did not live their religion. There is a difference between religion and culture and tradition. So if we can rearrange ourselves on the basis of this content, I think the unity will evolve in our system. Those who against the unity, the elemental being, those who hold Yorubas, we are now on Tony Le Yoruba, Tawori, tenant Lawa, Bokwe Boya, Taba lo 120 years, Balo 30, 130, Aku Laye, and one Tony Le, landlord one, àwọn yẹn ní òkè, àwọn yẹn ní ilẹ̀, àwọn yẹn ní afẹ́fẹ́, àwọn yẹn ló ń gbénu igbó, àwọn yẹn ló ń ṣe ẹbá kan ṣọdún ọlọ́jọ́, àwọn kan ló ń ṣèlú ọjọ́ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, àwọn yẹn ní permanent citizen of Yorùbá land tọ́lọ́run fi síbẹ̀. Àgbà tọ́lọ́run bá fẹ́ payé rẹ́ láti dá wọn padà sọ́run. Àwa tá wá ń bú wọn yìí, àlejò ni wá o. Ẹ wá máa bú wọn, ẹ máa ṣépè fún wọn. Ẹnìkan máa náà ṣépè fún láàlú. Ó náà ṣépè fún láàlú. Ọjọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ ṣépè fún iṣẹ́ pa ni. And in Yorùbá land, gbogbo ọjà tó bá wà, tó bá fẹ́ dá ọjà, wọ́n á fi láàlú síbẹ̀. Ààfin, wọ́n á fi láàlú síbẹ̀. Oríta mẹ́ta ìlú, wọ́n á fi láàlú síbẹ̀. Ó nílẹ̀ Yorùbá fi gbòòrò bóyá èrò yìí because tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá fi sí àṣẹ burúkú ṣe rere. Tó bá rán burúkú tí ò bá síbẹ̀, á dáhùn. Ṣùgbọ́n tó bá ti wà bẹ̀ tí burúkú wà, àní ẹ̀ máa wà bí wọ́n ti ọ̀nà mi rí báyìí. And gbogbo nǹkan tí à ń try láti sọ ni pé irú èmi sìn I'm a serious person on the three religions. I operate within the three religions. My father was a Muslim. Muslim not be bidwa, but ìyá wa wá ń gbé wa lọ church. Church la wá mọ̀ ń pa ẹ̀ dáadáa. So nígbà tó yá, kò sígbà tá máa gbààwẹ̀ 30 days tí mo miss ẹ̀ kankan bẹ̀. Ẹ bá miss ẹ̀ kọ́ pé mo travel lọ sí abroad tí mi ò ráyè gbààwẹ̀ ńgbà yẹn. Mi ò dẹ̀ ní ju 7 lọ. Bí àmì lè gbààwẹ̀ níbi tí mo wà, bí hotel tí mo wà, mo sẹ́ni tó lè ṣe sáré fún mi ìdẹ̀ lè gbààwẹ̀. Mi wà convenient, kò ní ju 7. Ṣùgbọ́n tí máa wà Nàìjíríà, mi ní miss ẹ̀ kan 30 fast yẹn o. Because background mi ni Muslim. Mo dẹ̀ wọ̀ pé tẹ́yàn bá gbààwẹ̀ Ramadan, ó ní bí àdúrà yẹn ṣe ń gbà sí. Ìgbà Christian náà, gbogbo nǹkan tó yẹ kí n ṣe ní Christian mo ń ṣe. Most of the church olóye tí mo máa ná. Ìyàwó mi dẹ̀ rèé, àwọn bíi gba Jésù náà ni òun believe ní 100%. So in my house there is a freedom of religion. Èmi gan nu yàrá tèmi gan mo ní pẹpẹ tí mo fi ń ṣàdúrà. So gbogbo ọ̀nà ló gbà mí. Tó bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ tìbílẹ̀ ní ṣèbí kádùrà ti gbà ni. Ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo problem táwa ní ni pé problem táwa ní ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni pé ẹlòmíì á wá gbé religion yẹn sórí. Tó bá rẹ́ ẹlòmíì tó ń ṣe religion ó ti di ọ̀tá ẹ̀. Ìgbà wo la fẹ́ unite? Ẹlòmíì tẹ́ bá ń jókòó tán, ẹlòmíì ò lè dé ààfin ọba mọ́. A nítorí pé wọ́n wà fetish ńbẹ̀. Tí ò bá sí traditional institution, ìlú ò lè gbòòrò bó ṣe gbòòrò yìí bá ṣe bá láyé ni. So nǹkan tá à ń bẹ àwọn èèyàn wa ní pé ẹ jẹ́ ká practice religion on the basis of modernism, moderate way. Ká má fi alákatakí sí. Ẹni tó bá rí nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Borno, Taraba àti Adamawa lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Boko Haram, a mọ̀ pé alákatakí tí ẹ̀sìn wàhálà ló máa ń já sí tó bá yá. Ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn, Ọlọ́run, God is a God of nature. God is not even God of religion. Nature gangan lọ́lọ́run máa ń wò. Àti pé ìwà ẹ bó bá ṣe lóòótọ́ lọ́lọ́run fẹ́ fi believe ẹ. Kì í ṣe pé o bá kírun kó o ní máàkì lẹ́yìn tínú ẹ̀ ò bá ti mọ́ òun ṣọ̀rẹ́ Ọlọ́run. Ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n tó ń kírun àbí tó ń lọ sí church tínú ẹ̀ mọ́ tó fẹ́ràn ọmọ làkejì bí ara rẹ̀ òun lọ́lọ́run fẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ rẹ̀ tọ́lọ́run dẹ̀ máa ń yọ́nú sí.
Ẹ ṣeun ààrẹ, ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ bíi 2-3 wà tí mo fẹ́ ká mẹ́nubà ká tó jẹ́ kẹ́ máa lọ. Ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀. You spoke on unity. Let me move it from unity of the Yoruba race to unity of intercultural unity. In the year 2000, 2001, 2002, OPC was said to be perpetrating ethnic militancy. There was the Ajegunle crisis, the killing of the Hausas allegedly, and all of that. So there was a lot of fight allegedly between OPC and the other ethnic groups. How is your unity with those other groups now? From the Igbos, the Masobs, the Arewas, and should I say the Fulani herdsmen, all the various ethnic groups? What is the relationship now?
Well, very cordial. Even the Arewa Youth Consultative Forum, very cordial. The Niger Delta group, not even only Ijo, the entire Niger Delta group, we have a very cordial relation. Yesterday, about 10 p.m., I and Joseph Eva spoke for more than 25 minutes on phone, which is the leader of the Niger Delta in Southwest here. They have a very good structure. And most of their leaders who are moderate, we have a very good relationship. And talking of the Igbo people, the Oraeze, and some of the Igbo organization, we have a very cordial relationship. Go if you Google my installation in YouTube, you will see how many Eze Igbo that came to Oyo. There are about 50 that came to Oyo. So one of the way of resolving the ethnic crisis now is that we liaise with their leader. If anybody misbehave or Yoruba misbehave in their local government, they will call me. We quickly resolve it on dialogue. But in the earlier time of Ijaw crisis, Hausa Fulani crisis, was the time that there was no structure of communication. There was no synergy between different ethnic nationality in Southwest. And don't forget that most of our people were being killed in the north. Most of our people are being maimed in the north. But there's no reprisal attack in the Southwest. And even in the Niger Delta, they are threatening that they will move Yoruba from the Niger Delta. And we tell them that if you want to move Yoruba out of Niger Delta, you have your people building edifice, mansion
in Lekki,
in Yoruba land. So how many people benefited from how many Yoruba people benefited from Niger Delta? About 50% of the people that made it in Lagos, they are not non-Yoruba people. And even in our public school, about 45% of the pupil and the student in the public school year, they are non-Yoruba. So you should realize that we are even more accommodating than you people over there. But we must have mutual understanding and mutual respect. We must live peace and harmony. Anybody who is a tribalist is an enemy of God, because you don't know where your children will marry. You have your children, God give it to you. You don't know his destiny. He may not even marry a Yoruba person. He may say he want to marry even an Hausa person. But what we are saying to resolve the issue of tribalists, we have to stop nepotism through our leader. To resolve the issue of tribalists and hatred and mutual suspicion within us, our government, our leader must believe in justice. In a situation that appointment is being lopsidedness, there will be a continuous hatred within different ethnic nationalities. In a situation when somebody said they own Nigeria and they want to organize a security outfit in all certain area without the approval of the governor, which are the chief security officer of the state, is the beginning of anarchy. And after anarchy, you know what can happen? We don't pray for that. In a situation, you don't respect people that accommodate you, that you started bully them, you started issuing a provocation statement, provocation statement against them. That's the beginning of hatred. You know what you hate most? You don't live in my vicinity and be calling me name. Yoruba don't prepare with react. Other race can be preparing. But your preparation against Yoruba for a period of 10 years, Yoruba will neutralize it within 2 weeks. Because God give us the gift and give us that potential. We have every way to defend ourselves. We fought the military in power for a period of 6 years without carrying one gun and bow and arrow. We liberate the entire Nigeria with the support of other ethnic nationalities. But we are in the large quantum of that struggle. We liberate the entire Nigerian if the democracy we have in 1999 without shooting one gun, without even using bow and arrow. We use our intellect to win the democracy we have in Nigeria. But notwithstanding, if anybody now saying that they hold Nigeria, that's the beginning of trouble. By the time you prepare again, they will make sure they win the struggle before they go back. We don't start a course without winning. But we always been reluctant to react. We reluctant to react. You provoke us. When we decided to fight the struggle, we get what we want at all means. So you have to know the nature of the people you are dealing with. You can't see a Yoruba person in the north and be abusing the Fulani and Hausa people. they will comply with them, they will comply with their culture, they will comply with their religion. The penal code, the Sharia law was being used in the north. No Yoruba person who are Christian wage war against it. And when you are living with us, the same practice have to be played in our own southern and western region. So by then, if that understanding, we have that understanding, we will not have ethnicity crisis. We will disabuse the mutual, the kind of stage of not trusting ourselves. We disabuse it from our own environment, and the issue of mutual suspicions will be erased. But to solve the problem most is that we must respect each other.
Thank you, sir. I want to wrap up on 3 more points. First is the issue of Boko Haram. They have continued to devastate. Chibok girls are not back. Is there anything that OPC could have done to help to rescue the Chibok girls, for example, or to help to do more in terms of national security? That's one. The second part is in the area of electoral violence. There's so much violence during elections in Nigeria since 1999. Is there efforts to continue to help the security agency in securing Nigeria during the times of election? That's the second, and I will keep my final question on after your response.
Well, I think the issue of Boko Haram is not our jurisdiction. You can't expect OPC to move to Borno to fight the Boko Haram, unless if federal government want us to work with the military. But I thought it's not necessary, because the Borno and Adamawa Northeast have their own local security that complement the effort of Nigerian Army and Nigerian police in that area. Secondly, about the electoral violence. The electoral violence will continue in Nigeria, in as much we don't respect rule of law. The electoral violence will continue in Nigeria if Nigeria is not properly restructured. The electoral violence will continue in Nigeria if there is no rivalry within the security agencies. If we have only one central police, with the population of Nigeria, more than 200 million people now you have only one structure of police. The electoral violence, the rigging, killing, and maiming will continue in our elections. And the electoral violence will continue if there is no check and balances in our structures. If the federal government did not know that there is a structure in region that will determine the fate of its own people in the region, the remaining content on the central is for the central to control the entire nation. In a situation when election will be held in Osun, the ruling party, it started from PDP, not only APC. I'm not being sentimental about party. It started from PDP. The ruling party will bring Nigerian police. They will change the commissioner of police 3 days to the election. They will change the AIG in their own favor against the opposition. They will now bring a mobile police from other zone to that area. The quantums and the strength of the mobile police will almost be half of the people that will exercise their franchise as a citizen of that state. What is the reason behind that? They will even give instruction to the INEC, this is what to do. We know in this country, a website of INEC was shut because they want to rig. And they declared the result without even pasting the result in the website for a period of 3 weeks. A lot of ugly things that's supposed not to happen in any normal society have happened in our electionaries in Nigeria. Look at what happened in Rivers State. The presidential election and governorship election. Look at how many people was being killed in the Rivers State by using the army and the police. We were seeing video how people were being shot. We were so lucky in the region that the only casualty we have within the state was Ibadan, We lost 2 people in Oyo State. Apart from that, we monitor what happened in the Niger Delta and the Southeast. A lot of people were made. You would thought maybe they are fighting war during the election. And even in the North too, a lot of things happen in Kano State. So for us to have at least a very good election on the basis of one man, one vote, free and fair election, Nigeria must be restructured. I spoke to a serving senator that what you see about the election that is coming in one state, you know what his answer to me? He said, let me see what the government at the center will decide. The candidate that they will give to us is the one we support. I now asked him, what's the reason behind that? Not people's choice. He said, not people's choice. So he said that they control the police, they control the army, they control the SSS, they control the civil defense corps, and they will give instruction to the INEC. And they have the money, the resources to give to that candidate to win that election. When I drop my call with the serving senator, I said Nigeria is finished. What is democracy? The democracy is the government of the people by the people for the well-being of the people. In a situation that wish of the people did not prevail, that's not democracy. In a situation when people will decide that this is the person we love to be our candidate and want to vote for him, and it will not move in that society, that's not democracy. We borrow this system from the United States of America. Even the constitution we are using now, even this United States of America, based on true federalism, they run statism. And we borrow this constitution based on the autobiography I read from Joseph Waya, the Senate president under the Shagari government. He said we borrow the constitution of the United States. But when we bring it to Nigeria, we dilute it. United States. We now change it to unitary system of government. And since then, we have been witnessing electoral violence. Look at what happened in Ondo State. If not because the Ondo State were being resolute in 1983, Chief Ademola could have been robbed in his mandate. And we know what happened in most of the states in the election. And this thing has been happening for a long time. And most of the international observers that come to Nigeria to witness our election always being disappointed by leaving. I remember what happened in one of the states in Southwest. The consulate of American embassy was highly disappointed. But they can't bring out their report in a genuine way because they know if the report comes out, Nigeria will burn. And if they don't want Nigeria to burn, they don't want Nigeria to be in fire because it will bounce on them. Most of our people will seek refugee in most of the Western countries and we affect their economy. That's one of the reasons by trying to manage the issue of Nigeria, how maybe they can solve it in a civil way.
Can you hear me, sir?
I'm hearing you very clear and loud.
Yeah. Thank you for that awesome and intelligent response. My final question. The Arewa youth have said that power will remain in the North in 2023. What do you say? Are you ready for a Southwest president in 2023? Are you supporting a Yoruba president in 2023?
Not only Arewa youth. If we listen to Ango Abdullahi, he has been sending signal. And if you listen to the statement of Meyati Allah, the only content they denied yesterday is that they denied that they didn't say the Fulani hold Nigeria, but they didn't deny that they will wrestle power for life. They have said it practically that the power will remain in the North in 2023. And I can tell you anything you hear from Meyati Allah is even more authority than Arewa Consultative Forum, the elderly group that we believe as an apex group in the northern region. But I'm a person that I don't deceive myself. Any Yoruba man that is thinking that he will get that power in 2003 should be prepared for a lot of war. A lot of war. Not war by gun, not full-scale war. I'm talking of political war, political struggle. Not by saying you are declaring war in the country, no, political struggle. But it's unfortunate that even some of our people in Yoruba land who want to contest, they are not putting their house in order. You want to contest for a president of Federal Republic of Nigeria, every stakeholder in Yoruba land, you are fighting them. And Yoruba, anything you say, any character you imbibe, Yoruba will put it in record. And Yoruba always work against someone on the basis of his antecedent. So I believe that we haven't put our house in order to even rescue power in 2023 because we know how we manage our structure. It's not about your own political structure. Those who determine what happens in politics beyond those who call themselves politicians. Because non-political product, non-partisan product determine about 70 to 80% of what happens. The partisan organization is just to give a direction, prepare your campaign strategy. But in a situation you don't have a base, you want to win an election in 2003, you don't have a base. Your base is cracking every day. You are becoming enemy of every institution in your base. Every group in your base, you are becoming the enemy of that group. It will be extremely difficult.
But
we have
ideologically,
about 3 people. We have about 3, 4.
Can you hear me, sir?
3, 4 people. Let me come down on this submission. We have about 3, 4 people that will mention their name, that they are agitating, they are planning to contest, but I haven't seen any light after the dark tunnel.
Yeah, but aside from individuals who are trying to,
and I'm not sure. Yeah. Secondly, I'm not sure that the president is ready to leave the power. Thirdly, I'm not sure that the Kaaba is ready to give power back to the Sultanate. I got an information from. I got my information. Yeah.
Are you ready to defend you as a Yoruba leader? Are you ready to defend irrespective of the individual? Ideologically, are you ready to defend the interests of the Yoruba race in 2023? So irrespective of political,
you said ideologically. I'm ready to defend anybody that share the same ideology and true federalism content. I'm ready to defend that person. But somebody who did not believe in my ideology, somebody who did not believe in the common Amotekun, it will be very difficult. Politics is about interests. If you give power to somebody who did not share an ideology with you, you will commit suicide at the end of the day. If you support anybody who did not believe about your local interest, politics is about local interest. You will commit a blunder for a period of 40 years. A power of 4 years will slide you down for a period of 40 years. If you support somebody that did not have enough integrity to represent you as a real Yoruba person, you'll be in trouble. So I can only support somebody because we don't know what will happen between now and 2023. When the time comes, when I saw the person who have an integrity, who can defend us, who share the same ideology, definitely. There can never be a vacuum. When Buhari want to live there can't be a vacuum in the seat of power. Somebody must fill it. But we must gauge our interest. We must agree on certain terms. But in a situation, you say, OPC. Sometimes a word is sharper than followers. And when you are talking of followers, we have almost 6 million people as a followers. Apart from 6 million people, there's a lot of people we can influence with our contacts. Not talking about people in Nigeria and talking about people in diaspora. a lot of things are wrong in Yoruba land that we have to put our house in order. Money is not everything. If you park the people's money in your pocket that you thought you will buy everybody at the end of the day, sometimes some people it's not for sale, especially the northerners. You can't buy their own wish. They will collect your money in the last minute, they will give you their joker. When Abiola spent a lot of money to against Obafemi Awolowo in 1979 to 1983, when he now rise up and said he want to contest, Umar Diko told him that president is not for sale. And even the Akiloye as the chairman told him that the president is not for sale. Abiola was extremely rich. He has money more than anybody in that party. But at the end of the day, they show him is the joker that Shagari will come for second time. That was one of the reasons Abiola went to Baba Awolowo and begged Baba Awolowo that he should forgive him. Thank God that Abiola made that move. That was what saved him when he wanted to contest in 1992 to 1993. Because he have come to Ikene to beg Chief Obafemi Awolowo. And Chief Obafemi Awolowo have forgiven him. When he wanted to contest in 1992, he now put his house in order. Baba Awolowo forgive him. When he wanted to contest in 1992, some staunch leader of Action Group say, we won't forgive me, but majority told him that this man have come and begged Baba, and Baba have forgiven him before the demise of Chief Obafemi Awolowo in 1987. So that's a smart politician who has a vision, who know where he's going. But it's not because you have your money, you now become arrogant. You thought that, hey, Lord, I don't say that. Yoruba, we have a pride that we won't compromise. Before I become Are, I know what I passed through. And I've been in public opinion. I've made my name before I become Are. Are just give me some authority about the issue of Yorubas. So it's not because I become Are now, you now say Are was the one that uplift him. Don't forget, my brother, I want to give you an information. You know, apart from OPC, I have another group in abroad. We call it Odua Progressive Union, OPU, that I founded in 2011. By 2021, the group will be 10 years. And as I'm talking to you, we have the group almost 90 countries. If not because of COVID-19, off and on, when I stay in Nigeria for 3 weeks, I traveled for 3 weeks to different countries. So I'm not relying on the structure I have in Yoruba land alone as OPC leader. If not because of the being pessimistic about some of our leaders in OPC, I could have resigned as the national coordinator of OPC. What is the national coordinator of OPC talking of Are on the Kakanfo of Yoruba land? But that was the background, that's the group that made me, that give me the capacity to form another group in diaspora in almost 90 countries. So if you want to contest for any election, you first put your house in order. Those you offended, those you offended, we're not saying you should prostrate. Apologize to them so that you have a backing in your base. Buhari has contested for 3-4 times, but he always have a backing in his base. In the last time when he have a backing in his base and he have an alliance with other regions, he won the election easily. For you to have an alliance in another region, you must have a solid backing in your base. But if your base is shaking, they will shut you from your base and told the external region that want to support you that don't support that person. I'm not mentioning name, but I'm talking in parable.
Thank you, Are. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been speaking to Iba Gani Adams, the Are Onakankafo of Yoruba land. We have learned a lot about...
not Kankanfo. That's Igbo pronunciation.
The Are no.
Kakanfo, not Kakanfo. It's our Igbo brother that called me Kakanfo.
Are Onakankafo of Yoruba land. Thank you so much for your time. We have had hundreds of people, thousands of people actually who have been watching this from different countries of the world. We have people from the UK, from the US who have watched on Facebook, on YouTube, This is very great. All your followers are here, and want to say big thank you for your data and for your time and for the insight of all the people who have come here to watch and learn. As soon as we shared it yesterday and today, people started saying, I'm going to come and listen. And I can say here that after the interview we had, this is almost our third best interview so far since we began this conversation. The kind of turnout that we have seen. I see someone from Brazil also saying love from Brazil. Sahid, we see you there. People are watching from all over Ireland, Dublin, the UK, and the US. And we know that what you stand for is in the interest of Yoruba race. Thank you so much to all our viewers. We're very grateful for your time, for your insight, and for the wisdom that you have shared with us. And we hope that you would be able to heed our call again when we reach out to you for more wisdom and knowledge by the grace of the Almighty. And also a big thank you for your service to our nation and for the Yoruba land that you've continued to do. Emma Akpefonwasa, Emma Ferigi Jobi. There's one about I can't remember that part.
That's
the one. You know, my is increasing as well. And I speak your very well, but you know, God bless you. Love from Virginia, we see all of you. With everybody sending all their regards and they're sending their love. God bless you. And to everybody with who have made this today possible, who are behind the camera, behind the scene, we are greeting you. God bless you. Have a great day, everyone. See you tomorrow, guys, with Chief Frank Kokori, the man that shut down Nigeria as president of the NUPENG tomorrow.